Welcome to Tech Fever, Play Everything's weekly tech podcast right here on youtube.com/play everything, where we cover everything in the tech world from smart home to home theater to AI and robots. Alongside me today, as always, is my co-host, Kevin Coello, and Tim Gettys, our special guest.
Oh no, he's got the corona.
No, he's got
No. It's not the Rona. It's the fever. It's the tech fever. Very excited to be on this show with you two beautiful gentlemen.
How y'all
doing?
I love it. Tim, how you doing today? Thank you for joining us.
Man. This is show number 3 for me, which is normally the kiss of death. But I think I'm bringing my best A game.
I appreciate it, and I hope so. Because today we're not going to be doing the normal news. We're going to be doing a episode dedicated solely to home theater setups, just because I'm a big home theater head. Kevin is starting to dabble into it, and then I obviously help you build out your system, and it's beautiful. It's glorious.
It is. Thank you very much for everything.
No
we
problem.
got the dream team right here. Like this people watching, you are looking at the team that made this happen.
Yes. Besides the in-ceilings, right?
For now,
we'll get there.
We're getting there. I'm sure we'll talk about that on the episode.
I'm sure. But gentlemen, I kind of want to hit a couple topics, right? I want to hit if you could build out like your dream system out there, like starting at a home theater system, and then if you can't, essentially apartment, things like that, what you can do, the Dolby Atmos soundbars. I know, Tim, you're very up to date on those kind of things.
Big fan of the Atmos, man.
Yeah, talk about projectors, downsides, upsides, everything in between.
Cool.
So, I mean, let's get it started. So, with starting a home theater setup, first, let's talk about your setup. Mm-hmm. Actually, I want to do that first. So, you ended up getting the Kefs, the 7.
So the overview right now, my setup, for people that don't know anything about this, I have a projector setup. So it is a traditional projector, not an ultra short throw. It's a normal projector. It is a 4K projector, which is awesome and very rare. There aren't too many 4K projectors on the market, let alone good ones.
There's a lot that will say they're 4K, but they're not. They're like actually they're Fox 4K.
Yeah, it's the Fox faux. It's the faux.
I don't know. I've heard it both ways.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's just not real 4K. And now the thing is that where we're at with tech right now, that doesn't really matter that much. To the eye, you're not really going to see the difference. But when you get the true 4K, that also comes with a couple other just nice bonuses with like contrast and things like that. And so that's why I decided I had to do it. You just had to do it.
Yeah, I mean, and it does matter, especially if you are going 100, 120 inches, like 80 inches, you can kind of get away with it. But I mean, to me, it's just seeing the difference. Like the Epson ones are notorious for doing that fake 4K. It looks good, but you could definitely tell on like movies and stuff that it's not as sharp.
So yeah, that's my thing too. So I got a projector, got a 120-inch projector screen set up over there.
And you were like, "Oh, maybe I should do 100. Maybe I should do 100."
Well, it wasn't so much. It wasn't that I maybe I should. I wanted to go bigger, but there was a really good deal.
There was a deal that came up. Yeah, that would. Yeah.
That I was like, oh man, like really, it would have been about like less than half the cost of what this was.
Yeah.
Sure. But I feel like that's such a 20 inches would have been much to take off this bad boy.
Oh, absolutely.
And the other day, I guess this isn't this is maybe a week ago. I went to pick up or drop something off from the studio, and we were talking for a minute, and you were like, I feel like I could have gone to 130.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I think about it all the time. Like, there would be just the right amount. I think
you picked
it. Already fits.
Right
yeah, I think it fits perfect.
I think it's 10-foot wide. TV is wide enough.
No, it's nice. It's nice, but yeah, definitely bigger's always better, guys. When it comes to things like this. So, but yeah, 120-inch projector screen. I'm currently rocking a 7.1 sound system, which traditional 7, which means you get the 2 side surrounds plus the rear surrounds. The 0.1 being the subwoofer, but I have Dolby Atmos speakers. I have 4 of them for in ceiling. That would take it to a 7.1.4 system, but we haven't been able. I know, it's so fucking awesome.
I love it.
But we haven't been able to set that up yet. So hopefully soon, when the stuff starts dying down and stuff, Kevin and I are going to get in here and try to figure it all out. And by that I mean Kevin will get up there and I'll just look at him and ask him.
I'm very excited.
You're gonna be fighting the whole time.
If he needs me to hand him some LaCroix and
No, Tim totally changes when like I'm helping him do something. Then he's totally chill and cool and everything.
Yeah.
He's more
For the
concerned
most part.
I'm gonna hurt myself.
Totally.
That's really what it is.
Yeah, he gets in some precarious situations, but
Sometimes you have to.
that's the thing is like before we get into too much detail, because there's a lot to talk about. Just given the top level, got the projector, 120-inch screen, 7.1.4 eventually will be there, and I got the 2 rows of theater seats. They power recline. They go all the way, baby, and it is fantastic. And the
Wait,
back
real quick,
row,
let me just talk for a second. They go all the way, and it's to the perfect level where it's more comfortable than like actual movie theater seats, because it just there's something about being in a movie theater and having like a blanket. This is gonna sound like crazy, but like when me and Paula were going to the movie theaters, always our local movie theaters are cold. So I actually was bringing a blanket for Paula. So for a little while, I was also like, if she didn't come, I would still bring the blanket just out of habit, and then I would start using it. And it's just like it's the best way to watch a movie, and you can do that in your house. It's so good.
Yeah, and those seats are extremely comfortable. Do you remember the brand? They're like the ones that kind of in Best Buy. I know they're a different brand than the ones that you got.
Oh man, the Turbo XL is the name of the model. I don't remember. Octane. They're Octane seating. Yeah. And I got a killer deal on them during Black Friday that got them down to like over half off.
Yeah, you were hitting me up around Black Friday. Like I couldn't believe some of the deals that you were able to get. Like, it's
super
crazy.
stoked. Super stoked about that.
I want to do one in my room. I just don't have enough space, but they are super comfortable seats.
That is the problem. They do take up a lot of space. But another really cool thing.
A couple in your living room would definitely work. You got a decent sized living room that you don't utilize properly.
Yeah, but
there's one sofa and bedroom. A TV in the corner.
But the cool thing about these seats, one of the many cool things, is that I got the back row on risers. So it's actually 7 inches taller than the front row. So it's perfect for being able to sit. And right now I have 2 rows of 3, which is nice. And then I have these bar stools behind it. So 3 more bar stools that eventually, because right now people don't see this, but like my projector's not mounted yet. It's just kind of sitting on a tower.
Is there any way we could show them?
No,
because the tower is. So let me just give you a little. So at no point have we actually sat down. There it is.
There it is.
At no
so it's a mini fridge, and then tubs from when I moved.
I love it.
At no point have we actually sat down and built out anything aside from the like projector. Everything has been like, oh, we're gonna have people over. We did set up the like. Do you think we could set up the side speakers really quick? She's like, yeah, sure. And then like the following week, oh, it's the Super Bowl. Do you think we could set up the surround really quick? And it's like, yeah, I think so. So we at no point yet have we dedicated actual time to build this out.
Which, but I will say, so if anybody wants to do actual in ceilings in their homes, it's very, very tricky. So you either have to have you have to have attic space essentially to be able to actually run or have a pre-wired house. This was neither of those things, and I was like, hey, you could go with the Atmos toppers. It'd probably be a better situation, a lot easier on you. And Kevin over here is like, oh no, we could do the in ceilings, we could do it. And to do in ceilings, you basically have to gut out like rows on the ceiling, and then you have to drill through every single stud to be able to run all the wire and then run it down. So again, here we are, still not done,
Hey, that's only the fault of
Speaking of
that's the fault of the situation we're in right now. I definitely believe in Kevin when it comes to that stuff, and it's definitely complicated. And I have thought a couple times like, fuck, like I kind of wish I just got the toppers just so that I could do it. I could like have it done and be able to have that experience. Because I'm watching so many movies and I'm like, I want that. I'm so close to having that full effect.
But you're gonna watch movies for
the rest of my life.
Time. Yeah,
that's my thing.
Yeah.
So it's I'm looking at this in the same way as the projector. It's like, okay, cool. Getting the toppers would have been 120 inches. I'm still wanting 130. So it's like, I want to do this. I would rather do this right, even if it takes longer and whatever. It's like there's that thing that everybody talks about. It's like you can get it cheap, you can get it good, or you can get it fast. And it's like you can only choose two of those things. And it's like, all right, I think that for me, I want it good and I want it cheap. So it's like the speed I hit a point that I'm happy with where it's at. Yeah. So it's like I can wait longer to make things happen if it's going to mean that I overall get the most baller fucking thing imaginable.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're out there and you're trying to do a home theater setup, there's a couple things I want you to kind of follow here. It's an investment, right? So if you go with the cheaper clips, you go with like the Polk. I mean, it's still an audio system, so it's still going to be better than what you have. But there's definitely, like you said, you can find out deals, seek deals, be able to do it good, and have it take a little bit longer. But I always recommend really investing in a solid front system like what you have there, like a towers in the center, or even just a tower and a solid receiver, because basically the audio, once you get the audio kind of situated, everything else, you're never gonna have to change it. So like your projector, you might upgrade to 8K eventually, you might, laser, whatever it might be. That's gonna be the only thing that you're gonna be changing out, just like a TV. But those speakers are gonna be with you forever, especially if you invest in like a good set. You're pretty much set forever.
Yeah, and I know we're going to bounce around a lot in this, but just keeping with that train of thought here, like I've been lucky enough to have LG OLED for the last 4 years or whatever, and I've gotten so used to that, which is honestly the greatest investment I've ever made in my life. Like that TV is worth every penny and then some. It changes the way I feel about content. It is so beautiful. It is so painless of just working and enhancing the looks of things. Like I know, do both of us have, or all three of us have?
All of us have OLEDs.
Yeah.
And it's just such a
LG OLEDs.
Radical game changer for TVs and for visuals, right? So I'm so used to that. So moving over to all of this, fucking amazing. I love this, and it's definitely an experience. This does not match the OLED.
No.
By a long shot. And I have the OLED upstairs still, so I just played Final Fantasy VII Remake through. And every once in a while, Gia wanted to watch stuff down here with Joey. So I'd take my PlayStation 4 Pro upstairs and I'd get to see the difference. And it is night and day. Like, and I love how this looks. It is so good and so impressive. And the contrast is very good.
Yeah. But, especially on the Sonys. The Sony projectors do not mess around in terms of like what you're actually getting without giving you good contrast, but not crushing the blacks. But again, it's not OLED. It's not that organic LED individually lit,
Beautiful, man. It's so nice. But so here's my thing. Like that is the best investment I ever made for when it comes to home video stuff. But when it comes to this room, the thing that matters the most is what you just said. It's the three. It is the two side speakers and the center. The center is so important, and it enhances my experience in the same way the OLED TV did for visuals. It does for audio. Anything that like you think you've seen how things are supposed to look, you haven't until you've seen it on an OLED. You think you've heard things how they're supposed to be, you haven't until you hear it properly on at least a three channel setup.
Yeah, I mean, and especially on some of the tower front systems you can get. I mean, all these people will be like some of these soundbars, like the 3 point or like the 5.2.7, whatever it is, right?
Jeez, I know crazy. 5.27. Come on, man.
I know.
I mean, it doesn't matter. It's all made of bullshit anyways.
Yeah, because
soundbars. And I don't want to hit on soundbars because they're good. They're good. They get the job done.
They're they're good, especially the higher end ones. But the thing with soundbars is like what we were talking about with fake 4K, where it's basically it basically takes this channel and rips it into two, and this channel and rips it into two, and then it does some weird interpolation processing with the actual audio itself. That it's
trickery.
Yeah,
it's trying to trick your mind.
I do think that there's a small difference in that 4K versus real 4K. That's a little bit more accessible, where we've got plenty of things that actually display 4K, so we kind of understand what that's supposed to look like.
Yeah.
With audio, so many of us have TVs with tiny speakers that shoot backwards because we're, this TV is trying to be as thin as possible. So we're used to bad audio. So I think that there's a bigger difference when you go and experience good audio. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I mean, 100%. Yeah. That's why, like, when you see like people,
but also, sorry, it's also experienced less. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally get that, and it is when you like. I love seeing people's face in like that Best Buy like home like that theater room, like when you play like a good demo and they are like really impressed, is because you're exactly right. We don't really know, and even soundbars they do a good job, but one, you're not going to get the clarity because you don't get the separation you do with the drivers, and the drivers are still significantly smaller than they would be like on a tower system. And I mean, that's really funny that you put it that way. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. When you first saw an OLED, that's exactly how it is when you first hear a home theater system, because it is half the experience. I mean,
Totally.
That was like George Lucas's big quote too, was like, good visuals is nothing without good audio, right? That's half the experience.
Absolutely. And I it's like just trying to simplify it into, you can add all the points and the subs and this and that and all the stuff. And like, it definitely enhances, and the Atmos, all of it enhances, but it is that core of, honestly, to me, it's the center channel. And this is, we're talking about movies, like, and TV, like having that center channel have the voices, cause that's where they're coming from. It enhances the experience tenfold, where all of a sudden it's like, even if you have bad speakers, having a bad center speaker, I think would make it sound better than what your TV is giving you.
Yeah. Well, and that's what's so nice is you can start with, a solid front and then build up as you move from like an apartment to a house that you're renting and then to your own house, right? That audio system kind of comes with you. And then you can build, you can do the Atmos, you can then add like the giant sub, you can then do the projector because you're able to, mount it, whatever it is. So that's my like first thing is really invest in a good front speaker system. There's some good ones. My favorite is Bowers and Wilkins. We ended up going with Kef for You, which I think are kind of on the same level. There's Def Tech if you like a lot of bass. They're really good in something called bipolar sound, where it is basically it has like a subwoofer built onto the side, it passes subwoofer, and then it has basically speakers all around the actual tower itself. If you like a lot of bass and you don't have room for like a subwoofer, there's Martin Logan. Martin Logan's a really good one, pretty affordable. And like I said, if you're already looking at like a $1,600 soundbar, like one of those big Atmos ones, like the Sony or the Q90 from Samsung, might as well just, if you do budget out an extra $400, you can get a solid just 2.0 channel, and then you just build on that in the future. And it's just slower, but at least you're, like I said, those two tower speakers you have blow out any soundbar on the market. Just
I mean, down. Easy. I think that soundbars get a really bad rap because from home theater enthusiasts, because there is this, it's lesser than it, and it's straight up, they are, like, there's no denying that. But I do think that if you are on a real budget and you don't have the plans to expand into this like crazy thing, like a good example is like upstairs for me. Now that my OLED's up there, I'm like, we end up watching a lot of stuff up there just because we're in bed. I don't need and not only do I not need, I'm not going to and can't have another system like this up there, but I'm thinking about getting a soundbar at some point, like just to enhance the sound up there, because like it would be significantly better than the TV speakers. And we watch enough up there that over time that could be a really worthy investment. I don't think I'm gonna do it anytime soon, but I do think that the cheapo soundbars, maybe not, but I think that investing in a higher end soundbar might be a better long-term investment for people that aren't going to go all the way.
Yeah. Well, and here's the difficulty though, because the tricky thing with soundbars is the HDMI ports on them, right? So as soon as you add an HDMI port, you're already putting an expiration date on that item, essentially. So as soon as you get a new TV or they update the HDMI to 2.2, whatever it is, and all of a sudden you can't use that the way that you've been using it. So then your basically hands are tied into getting another soundbar. So that's the issue with anything like soundbar related. Also, I've seen them fail a bit more. So again, the longevity there isn't as much as component audio. But what's frustrating is the good soundbar companies like Bowers and Wilkins has a soundbar, Definitive Technology, Martin Logan, even Kef has a awesome soundbar. You don't get the extras with that. You don't get the Atmos if you want the Atmos, but you get fantastic audio quality, and that's what's frustrating.
You get simulated Atmos from I'm mainly talking about the Sony that I had. I bought it and I ended up returning it because I made the call where I'm like, this is worth it. This is an amazing experience, but I want more. Like I am planning to end up going this route, and that required a lot of planning and stuff.
It was the big Sony one that you got, the ST5000. It was like giant.
ST. I don't think 5000 was the model number, but it was something like that. Yeah, the big old Sony dog.
Yeah, so that one is the ST5000. That guy, it's good, and it has some really good audio codecs in it, so it's able to actually encode really like higher audio formats out of it. But I would still recommend, with that one, if you want Atmos, things like that, that would probably be the one I'd recommend, or even the Z9 soundbar from Sony, which again does simulated Atmos. But I'm talking about like the Kefs, the Bowers and Wilkins, they don't actually, none of them do Atmos. Like 0 of them actually do Atmos. It's just a 3.0 channel soundbar, and then you can add the sub. But that's what's tough about it is if you end up wanting that, then now you are selling your soundbar or getting, the audio system that you want. Or if you want Atmos, you then
the Sony one does Atmos.
No, that's what I'm saying. So that I'm saying outside that, but the higher end brands like
got it. Yeah. Because again, it's all simulated. It's not the real thing. It's the 4K type stuff where it's like, it's to the normal people, they're not going to notice the difference. But anyways, like end of the story is audio matters just as much as video, and people don't think about that. Yeah.
So Kevin, what kind of, I know you've been kind of looking, are you going to be doing a soundbar?
I have access to a roof.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know exactly what I want to do now, but I think that I'm definitely going to do a center and not the full sides, but like the smaller ones. Bookshelves.
Yeah,
I think that would be a very easy to do thing. Sorry, my little puppy's crying here.
No, you're good.
And then I think
play everything. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? I said this is play everything. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
No. I'm making that noise because like, oh man, like I think eventually I want to do some in ceilings Atmos.
But that's the thing, you can do that later. Like the Atmos is the cherry on top of the cherry. It's like, but it really does kind of bring everything into being that next level experience.
It breaks my heart that we haven't done it at your house yet, because when we set up the back surrounds, there was such a difference. Like we set them up and we watched. I can't remember what movie we were watching, but I think it was raining or something in the movie, and we could you could hear it dropping behind you, and it was like, oh shit, there's suddenly another dimension.
Totally,
suddenly we're in the middle of this world.
It's weird where like even it takes things that because like the receiver I have is really, really, really good at up mixing and kind of like making things surround even if they're not surround. And even things as stupid as The Bachelor, watching it with surround sound, it makes it so much more immersive because it'll be like hear me out for a second. Like,
that streams at 720, right?
It streams
that 90 Day Fiance really takes it to the next level.
No, but here's the thing. In Bachelor, it'll be like there's dialogue happening, right? They're on a date, they're in the jungle, and they're talking, their voices are coming out of the center. The music is coming out of the two fronts as stereo, right? But then the sound effects of the rain hitting the trees and the birds chirping and being in the jungle, it's coming out of the surrounds. All of a sudden, we're there. And this is for the shittiest, lowest quality content there could be. And it's like, even that is enhanced to a level of immersion that is unbelievable. But when I put a Blu-ray in, Blu-ray sound, Blu-ray, 4K Blu-ray, it doesn't matter. The sound is equal for the two. And it is pure, raw bit rate of that. It just max is lossless.
It's not compressed.
Fucking insane, you guys. Like, it is so clear and real and full. Like, that's the thing, is it's full sounding where every single thing that happens, whether it's a breath, a word, a gunshot, anything, it's just, it adds and it just makes every movie better.
Yeah. No, that's it's funny because you're watching it 720, all compressed, streaming, and then you do get that audio. Marantz does a fantastic job with what you were saying with the upsampling and be able to do the fake the surround sound, which typically sounds bad, but Marantz really typically does a pretty good job with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I forgot where I was originally going with this, but sorry, I was going to go back to you, Kevin. Yeah. So if you wanted to do like bookshelves and just like the fronts, that's the beauty of it, is you could add all that stuff down in the future. And that's why I'm such a big proponent of actually doing component audio. I know I want to, if I stay in this place another year, I want to do projector. I want to get the motorized one with the battery. Right above the fireplace, just because it's so easy. Like, again, really expensive, but just having that extra level to where it's like you just change out the battery every couple months and you'd be able to, bring it down, and then do Bowers and Wilkins for the fronts. That's really kind of what I'm like honing in on.
My biggest issue is that my living room is by far the smallest area in my house, where there's a slanted ceiling there. It's kind of a building that is like this, and the living room is in a part that's like right here. So a big chunk of the living room like slants down. It's a vaulted wall.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's like the sofa is not going to be up against the wall, so I'm not getting the most distance I can. Yeah. And like thinking of where the speakers is going to go is a bit of a challenge, but I can figure it out.
Yeah,
but like,
that's the
it's also
thing
not
that
a
sucks.
giant
that turns
space,
a lot of people off the component systems is
Mhm.
all the wiring, all the extra work that you have done. But like I said, I would say it's worth it. You can carry that on. Now, kind of getting into people who want to build their own systems, the first thing I'd say, once you kind of pick out your center, is what you're watching on, right? You can do the TV that you're watching on now, but if you want to upgrade that, there's kind of a couple different routes you can go, right? You can go giant TV, which I'd be a little bit wary about that if you're going with the more entry-level stuff, because then you're basically blowing up a 1080p on, if you're watching 1080p stuff, on an 85-inch screen, and then now it's super pixelated. It's not doing any kind of processing or upscaling for that content. So you could go giant TV, which caps out about 85. You can go projector, which gets expensive and tricky to set up. And depending,
I would
on your
not
setup,
recommend.
No, you might not be able to. Most people won't be able to unless they have the money for something like a laser projector, because then that kind of makes anything possible.
And like, to be clear, no one has that money. Like that's levels that are just, it's freaking insane that even if you get the best deals possible, you're not going to get a real laser projector in a way that is going to benefit your setup. Like there's these things called ultra short throw projectors that are really, really cool emerging tech that have been out the last couple of years, that are, instead of having to mount the projector in the back, you kind of put them right, it's like 12 inches or less from the wall, and it'll project.
Where your center speaker is now is where you could technically put it.
Yep.
And the benefits of that are the contrast is way better than what we're getting from this, because the light's not diluting at all, and it's just perfect there. You can't walk in front of it and cause shadows and all that stuff. But so far, those have really, really, really bad input lag, which means for gaming, like it's kind of out of the question.
Yeah,
and on top of that,
for like entertainment, like movies, shows.
Mm-hmm. And that stuff's cool, but it's like, really, you need to decide, like, what are you looking for out of this system? And I think that a lot of people that would be listening to this, games matter to them, and kind of a more singular experience will matter to them. I would only recommend a projector when you are going for a theater experience, where it is going to be a shared experience with a lot of people with a huge focus on movies.
Yeah.
One thing, like, just really quickly, I want to touch on the projector thing that kind of caught me off guard. Is how like any light will totally dim the projector. You have to really have a room set up where you can black it out totally.
Well,
and if you have that set up, it looks phenomenal.
That's not necessarily true. Now there are more expensive.
But I feel like when you get to those price ranges, are like, at that point, if you're spending like what, $6,000 on a projector, you probably have.
It's more than that, man.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, because that's the thing is, like, with like the projector I have, it's really good at dealing with that stuff. And even that, so this room, I'm lucky enough that it is in the basement level. It is pitch black. Like, I blocked out the windows back there, and I ended up just putting the hue lights with blackout material. I don't really know what the fuck it is, but like it totally blacks out any
It's like
light.
a vinyl
It
fabric.
looks so good. I love the LEDs
fucking
in the
sick,
windows
man.
too.
I
Yeah,
know.
it's just
It's
it's
so
just a
tight.
white vinyl strip that he has kind of.
Yeah, and the coolest thing is, then I put the hues back then. I can just make it any color I want.
That's so rad.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I love
Yeah.
it.
We just have to hide that one wire that is just bothering the
Yeah.
hell out.
We'll figure that out. But yeah, so it's pure black down here. When I turn off the lights, it's like there is no light at all, and the contrast is good for the projector, but it's not a TV. I mean, it's not an OLED that's for damn sure.
Yeah.
Comparing it to like my brother's TV that he has, which is an LG 49-inch from maybe, I don't know, 10 years ago or something, but it's good. It was top of the line then.
Yeah.
The projector looks better than that.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, no, I mean, but it still looks good. It's just like you said, it's not OLED. Like I would still put it against most, like, to be honest, like high-end LED TVs.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. It's just like I said, that's the downside. And again, if you want an 85-inch OLED, you're going to be paying a price with the Tesla,
It's not gonna
to
happen,
get it. Yeah. And then the 77s, they are coming down, but they are still like at that point you can almost get a short throw laser projector. I mean, even Hisense, they made one with pretty decent input lag. Now it's not terrible, but you're still 10 grand. So that's the thing is if you kind of start with the audio and the TV you have, do a simple 2.0 system and then a receiver, and then kind of build up from there. That again, really invest on that the audio more than on the visual side, I'd say. If you're looking to cut some corners or if you have to make some sacrifices, I'd always go audio first.
I mean, for me, I would go video first, and it would be the OLED TV. Like again, that is the best investment you can make. It is worth saving it, and I understand it's daunting and it's a lot of money. But if you take this shit seriously, make that the priority. And if it takes 2 years to save up for it, take 2 years to save up for it because it's going to be worth it. I honestly say to future-proof yourself as much as you possibly can. Get the 9 series or above. We now have the C9s, B9s, like all of those, E9s, W9s, and then there's now the X's, so the CX, BX, all that stuff. Those have HDMI 2.1, which means when the PS5 comes out, when the Xbox Series X comes out, when they eventually start taking advantage of all this stuff in a couple of years, you guys will be ready for that, and you'll have it. You won't need a better TV. This is going to be the TV that you use for a decade to come.
Yeah. I mean, OLEDs are just so hard to compete with in terms of the quality. I mean, Sony's typically have a little bit more burn-in issue from what I noticed. So, but Sony's another great way to go, but you don't get the input lag that you do, or the good input lag that you do on the LGs. It's weird that you go visual, especially after having that. Like maybe it's like I said, I feel like that would really just take over whatever TV that you have now. I feel like audio is more important personally.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, you have the OLED though.
Yeah,
so it's
true.
like,
It's
so that's
true.
when it comes in. It's like,
And you don't have great audio.
Yes. Yeah. Cause it's like when you, I just seen a lot of people kind of be like, oh, my budget for a TV is $600. And I'm like, cool. Okay. And you're going to get really nice TVs for that. And that's totally okay. But if I were them, I care about, like, this is my life. This is the shit that I care about and like to do. I'm like, I would much rather wait a little bit longer, and you can get an LG OLED on sale for less than $1,000. Commonly, it might be the 55-inch, but cool. That's totally worth it. You can get the 65-inch for like $1,200. And that's my thing is, of course, I would wait and get that. I feel like the 77, we're getting a little crazy, but like that's super enthusiast. You're making some choices.
I can't imagine like most cars you won't be able to move the 77 because we've driven with two 65 inches and we were able to fit one into a Tiguan with Cool Greg rolled up underneath it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
And the other one, which I put on my pickup truck and it barely fit. It was a very tight squeeze. I can't even imagine. Huh?
It was good. Fine. Yeah, 77 inches, a massive box.
I can't even imagine. That being said, transporting a 120-inch screen, oh man, that was a hassle.
Also,
that was
right now, honestly, if you're looking at an OLED right now, go to your like see what your local Best Buy has in terms of like open box, to be honest, because you can get a really, really good deal on some of the open boxes. Just depending, those prices change.
How do you do that? Like, how do you go about doing that while not going into the store? Do you have to call and
So
ask?
you would do the online. No, online has like the open box stuff. And
Get
then,
out of town.
Yeah, and now they still have the stuff on the wall. As soon as that stuff comes down, that stuff is going to be coming down in price. And like I said, get the protection or don't. And if there's burn-in, return it. But that's another really good way to actually get the visual piece and get it at kind of a steal.
Definitely, man. And it's so worth it. And, you know, kind of going off of that, like, I love this projector setup so much, even for gaming. Like, luckily, very, very, very luckily, this projector that I have is one of the only projectors that's good with input lag.
Got you, baby boo.
I know. I fucking love you, man. Like, that shit matters. And I don't think it'd be tenable to have a projector not be able to play games efficiently. So this kind of, for me, is like best case scenario of taking the concession of black levels. But you know, the thing about home theaters is it never ends. It's like
it's a rabbit hole, man.
And it's the rabbit hole of just wanting more and more. Well, I have this, so might as well go a little further, whatever. Like, a big thing for me is like, I made the decision where I was like, I know I need acoustic panels, but I don't want to do that because it's more about the fashion over function of this room. There's an aesthetic here that I'm really liking that I want to keep, but now I'm at a point where I'm like, all right, well, I need to get acoustic panels though, because like there's some echoes and I want to get rid of that shit. And like it just keeps going. Another thing, so that's on the sound side. On the visual side, it's like I'm seeing so much reflection from the projector on, oh, this is so hard to do, on like the wall over here. Mm-hmm. Like this wall, pretty much the whole wall surrounding it gets lit up. So every single thing that happens is just bright, and that's killing my contrast. So I want to go in there and figure out some type of solution, whether it's
you paint it all black, dude.
Matte black paint, which I've been looking
felt
into.
It up.
I ordered actually, Kev, like
a shit ton of felt.
$30 worth of velvet. It's black velvet with adhesive on the back, and I'm gonna test it and just see. But if it works, I'm gonna fucking put it everywhere.
Careful, it's gonna be hard to get off later.
And then the other option that I'm looking into is actually getting black acoustic panels. That's
a pretty cool option. It's an expensive option.
Well, that's the thing, is it's expensive to buy. I've been watching a shit ton of DIY YouTube videos. They're cheap as hell to make. I don't have the skills, but I know somebody that does.
Yeah, I'm just worried that like the quality there.
No, it's the same quality.
Really?
It's the same thing, dude. Literally, it's like I watched a breakdown video from Geek Acoustics, which is like this is what they do. Yeah, and they literally showed how they make theirs, and it's kind of just like the generic brand type thing. Like it's not like it's specific fabrics being used. It's like you can just buy the same shit and make it. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I'm sure it's
That's
like
really cool.
a fraction of the cost too.
Yeah, for sure.
It's probably a tenth of the cost, honestly.
Yeah, well, that's what I was gonna say. This is like a specialty item inside a niche, like section of like a smaller section of entertainment or home stuff. Yeah, the recently I've been doing a lot of research on like what's the ideal setup when it comes to like how do you best protect from sound and stuff like that? And it's crazy how much information is out there where it's like there's so much detail on what you can do. They sell this it's like a caulking. Do you guys know what that is? It's like gel stuff that you can put between walls when you're putting up sheetrock that creates a space inside that like deadens the sound, so it's harder for
the sound goes into it, and then it echoes through that, and it kills it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's creating an air barrier where it's like, you know, it can vibrate through there, but if there's no air in here, it's not going to be able to vibrate through.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's all science, which is the craziest thing when it comes to sound. And it's stuff that like I went to college for this shit, and I had to learn it all, and I never got it. I never understood because it was way too scientific for me. And it's interesting where you need to understand what it is your goal is when you're looking into the sound stuff, because there's it's all different when it comes to trying to make it sound better in here versus trying to keep the sound out of there versus trying to keep the sound from out there coming in here. Those are all different things that require different.
And it's so much, like you said, it's a rabbit hole going down it. Sorry.
Yeah, it's totally. One of those things that, like, you could do acoustic paneling, you could redo the walls and add, do a layer of sheetrock with this space in between, and then on top of that, you can put up rails and hang like sound paneling. It's insane how far you can take these things, and most people do it.
Yeah, but most people aren't though. Like most
right.
people
Well, I mean, but like there's man, I wish I could remember the name of the channel. A couple channels that I love watching that like were the dude. All he does is goes to other people's setups and has them walk you through like what it is that they have, and like awesome. Every like, oh yeah, this is the acoustic paneling that we did. Here. These are. It's like they're like 40-minute long videos of people explaining their home theaters, and it's like I love that shit.
Oh wait, is it the guy that works at Best Buy?
What?
The guy that does this? Is he always wearing a Best Buy shirt?
He might be.
Yeah, I think he is.
Not noticed.
Yeah. That's hella funny.
That's funny.
I've seen a ton of that stuff. Yeah, no, man, it's cool. I mean, like something I've been doing so much research in this, obviously, because I want this to be dope as fuck.
Yeah.
But it's like it's all about the reflection point of you sit in the king's chair, which is like where the main person's going to be consuming this stuff, and it's like you need to. There's like all these techniques, like you get a mirror and point it like where you are, and like you turn it until you see the speaker, and it's like, okay, cool, this is a reflection point, and you need whatever. Angle you see off of it out of a wall, that's a point that needs a panel.
Yeah.
And it's like kind of like that's all the shit you got to do. And so it's like it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, if you want to go down that like if you want to get the best audio, like the best sound stage, you absolutely are going to look like a madman doing all that, but like that stuff's necessary, like how the speakers are canned, and then like you said, where you're putting like acoustic panels, which big rabbit hole. Before real quick,
the idea of Tim, you sitting in a chair being like, okay, all right,
I know,
go right there, and me sitting there with a marker being like, there, all right, yeah, great.
It's gonna happen. We're doing it. Well, I need people quick.
Okay, you good. God,
you cutting this part out, or are we gonna keep talking?
Yeah, I mean, we could cut it out.
It's up to you, bro. I mean, I'm down to keep this in. Any cool tech stuff in your world right now?
No, man. I haven't been able to play with anything.
So I went to the studio and I picked up this package, or there was like a little post for some package, so I had to actually go to FedEx and pick it up, and I don't know what the hell it was, but it said Greg and Kevin. It was weird. It ended up being a Butterfinger like sponsorship, but they gave me. Not sponsorship, but like it was just a Butterfinger care package.
To get the influencers, try to
yeah, which is really cool and makes me feel really special and whatever, right? But they sent me this backpack, and like it said something Butterfinger on the top. It's so freaking rad. It's got like a pocket specifically for the laptop, 16.5 inch laptop, which is obviously the size that I have.
Yeah. The
giant iPad, which also I have, and then inside it's got a little pocket with a zipper that has a USB plug that has it on the outside too.
Oh yeah, I had one of those. And it plugs in and you charge your phone while you're
walking using your phone. So cool little backpack. I don't know what brand it is.
Butterfinger. It's Butterfinger brand.
Butterfinger bad.
It also had like 6 Butterfingers in it.
Yep.
They were delicious. Tim, did you check out this backpack they sent us?
Yeah, give it to Cool Greg.
Dude, it's a dope backpack.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Real quick, but before we kind of sign out here, what kind of just because I don't know you guys' time limit here, what kind of issues have you kind of run into with the home theater? That any advice, any tips?
Too many, man. I mean, honestly, it's like it's little things that are just so frustrating to figure out. Like it's compatibility between it all. So like. Your system is only as good as its weakest point, and that's true for anything in life, really. But when it comes to home theater, it's like extra true, and it's just simple things like we got the subwoofer, right, and then we also got the receiver. The receiver worked with everything, but the sub, it's like, okay, is it? I then learned that there's classes to subs, and it's like, okay, cool, it's class D or it's class AB. Which one is it? And it's like. my guys are telling me, oh, it's definitely this class.
Yeah.
But I'm looking into it. And I'm like, I don't know. All the YouTube videos that are giving me instructions make it look like it's the other one. So then I start trying to figure it out. And it should be a simple Google of here's the model number of the receiver. Here's the model number of the sub. Do they play nice? Like, what's going on? And there's just, it reminds me a lot of video editing and learning how to troubleshoot things. That are such a specific problem that you're having. And it ends up looking through forums that are 10 years old, just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling through threads, trying to find someone else that had the exact same specific problem you did.
Yeah.
At any point,
I remember.
Sorry, I was just going to say really quick. At any point.
Oh,
Sure.
You blacked
cut
out there.
for a second.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
At any point, did you consider calling the manufacturer to just?
I have. Yeah, I called the manufacturer for both sides,
Well,
actually.
Did that work?
You couldn't get a hold of them. I ended up calling and getting a hold of them and finding out that.
And so we had some answers and things are working, but it's one of those things where even to this day, I'm like, I don't know if it's set up correctly. And everything's been good, but there has been a couple times where there's been like crazy popping sounds and like things going off. And I'm like, it always feels like it's because I'm just turning it up too loud and it's not getting enough power. So
I'm
that's
pretty
good.
sure that's what it is, because like I said, you couldn't hook it up to the LFE connection, which again, I'll get back to you on that, but I'm 100% positive that's what the issue is. Which is unfortunate. You can't crank it like to the 85 like completely.
Which is fine, man. Totally fine. No one, man, should be playing anything that loud, especially in residential areas. But here we are. No, it's like, I guess like interesting things I found are understanding moments where I would rather even listen to headphones. Like, I think that good headphones are super underrated and aren't something that, people think about for home theater systems. But for something like Final Fantasy VII Remake, playing through that, I'd say I played about half of it with the speaker system, but there was like, it got late at night or whatever. So I'd put my headphones on. And there's just something about that experience too, that I'm like, this is really fucking good. And like being able to be in this home theater and like experience it all, even though I'm with headphones, it's that can be a great experience as well. Like you don't miss out on, all the fun little things because it's personal to you, right? Yeah. Like it's being put into your head. These Audio Technicas that I think we're all using. Wait, no. What do you got?
I got the Sonys. I got the M3s.
Cool. I mean, like for $150, you can get these. And again, I think like it's an amazing investment. Like if you're a gamer that you care about games and watching like high quality movies, and you're an enthusiast of this stuff, I would say that the best bet you got going for you is get the LG OLED and get a nice pair of headphones.
Yeah.
Because then you're good. You got the sound, you got the video. Like you selfishly are good.
Yeah.
So that's something that I found kind of interesting.
Did you find yourself, this is a question since the kind of the setup you got going there, and you said light really disturbs it, with the kind of setup you got going on right now. Do you find yourself wanting to play in the light at all? Like, and you can't because of the setup, and that just makes you go to your OLED, or do you always want to play in the dark?
I've never went to the OLED. And so that's the thing. I feel like I've spent this entire episode kind of down on the theater, and making it sound like I have not once by choice left this to go to the OLED. Yeah. So that's saying something, right? Like it's a fucking all-encompassing experience, and the immersion is unlike anything I've ever experienced. And I'm down to give up a couple Ks and some black levels for that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a give or take for anybody who wants to do that. Anything else? Any other advice in terms of, because like I said, do your
research, man. Now. It's like do the research and you need to care, and it needs to be worth it to you. I don't think this is worth it to everybody. Like this is the thing that I'm dedicating my life to. Like this is the passion project that I've always had, and it's something I've always wanted to do. And I don't have a fancy car. I have a Prius C. I'm fucking happy with it. I don't give a shit that it's not a Ferrari. I have no interest in having a Ferrari.
I'm the same
I have an
way.
interest in this shit. It's like, it's very rewarding to finally have it and to know that I'm nowhere close to done with it. Yeah. Like every step taken, I do feel like it's like even just installing the hue lights. It's like, it takes everything up to an extra level. Earlier, Kevin was talking about bringing blankets to the theater for Paula. Like I bought an individual blanket for each one of the chairs. Each blanket was like $12 or something.
Yeah,
but it's like
it takes it to the next step.
that was one of the best investments I've made so far. Like when people come in, it's like, oh shit, like this is an experience. It's not just what I hate is the man cave thing. This isn't a fucking man cave. That's an insult to what this is.
You didn't 100%. Explain to people what the entrance to this space looks like. The long hallway with the lights.
It's just there's just a weird long. It's like such a bizarre building choice that like really is it's unnecessary space. But whatever, it opens up into this like.
But he's got like a hue light now set up, and then also this weird galaxy projector thing.
So it makes it all look
really
like
cool.
Just a nebula.
I love it.
So insane. But it's these little things that I think add up. And again, most people wouldn't give a fuck. Like I've had people come in here and they're just like, "Oh, cool," and I'm like, motherfucker, do you not realize what this is?
Yeah.
You know, but like some people just don't care about that stuff. But then I've had so many other people, like I will never forget when Alfredo Diaz came for the first time. I hadn't told him that I did this. And when he came over and we walked in, his eyes and mouth were wider than I've ever seen him. He was like, what the fuck? And I'll never forget the first thing he said is, "You actually did it."
Dude, it's so funny. With Alfredo, the first 65-inch like TV that I've ever experienced, I think, was with Alfredo going to get his what was it, the
Panasonic V10.
Yeah,
beautiful,
which was
TV before
at the time, enormous
OLED. It was the TV, man.
Yeah, plasmas were it, man.
And it's still great, but like I mean, you know, now tops out at 1080. And
well, Nick has that TV, right? Well, he has a smaller version,
the 55 version of it, yeah. But it's beautiful.
If you have plasmas, man, there are some hardcore plasma lovers out there that are like, I cannot, like, you know, I don't want to give up on it. I'm gonna ride this out till it dies because I love this TV, and even though it is 1080p, like it is still like fantastic picture.
Totally, it really is.
But yeah, I mean, I think that's an important point to emphasize though, real quick, because I mean, yeah, that is, I'm the same way. Like I don't like fancy cars. I don't like, you know, all the other real luxuries in life. It's like this, like tech, and then like the studio, and then like the home theater. That's kind of like where I invest all my money and place it out. And I could, you know, ride around in a bucket for the rest of my life. I don't care.
Totally.
But like have like a legit setup like that. That's kind of where I put my pride and joy into. So very cool. It looks beautiful.
Real quick. One thing I do want to say is like something that I haven't like really shown at all yet. I wasn't planning on showing this all off much more complete, but now you have to work from home, so this kind of just happened.
Yeah.
But like I also have my entire like desk setup that I'm extremely proud of. I really love the look of it, and I've had this at my old place as well. So it was just moving it here and kind of iterating on what this can be, and I'm very far from this being complete. But I love that this room it's not just, again, it's not a man cave, but it is, I want it to end up being a home theater and state-of-the-art studio experience.
Yeah.
Like I want to be able to I wanted to be able to rationalize to myself never leaving this room, and I'm very close to that.
I love the idea that you guys had with doing the Dolby Atmos Black demo and then just cutting it yourself and making your own.
I mean, I've been working on that.
I'm very excited for that.
And I can't wait. We need that most first before we could do it. But we're gonna have I have some really good ideas for the intro videos to the Tim Gettys experience.
Fantastic. I'm excited. I'm sure you're excited, Kevin. You got anything else to add before we go here?
Ah, man, I can't wait. I can't wait to actually finish building this place out. Like it upsets me so much that behind the corner over there, you can see we haven't fixed that, and once all this madness is over, once the world slows down a little bit to the,
yeah,
can't wait to get back on that.
I can't fucking wait to get Kev back on it. I think it's going to be, I don't think we have much to do. I think that we have like a good 2 or 3 days of like, focusing on it, and then we'll be in a place that will take it a lot further. What I'm really excited about now
stories
is this Kevin proposition of what's his room going to look like. Because we're at the beginning of that journey, and it's like I feel like
I don't have the space that you have.
I get it.
It's going to be a 65 inch, the
OLED.
OLED, yeah. But mine is giving me some issues. Won't
We'll
connect
see
to the
on that.
Wi-Fi. Maybe it's time to return that bad boy and see what I do with see what's going on with that CX.
You'll love to see it.
But no, I'm very excited, and that's the thing about this is you can get something for everybody. Even though you can't go all out like Tim, you can still definitely get a solid system going, and I'm excited to help you do that too. Because even with your Hue setup, man, it's like, whew, doing some crazy things.
Kev's Hue shit
Hue
is
setup. I love it.
Sick.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, thank you for joining me today. As always, this is Tech Fever. I'm your host, Mike Doherty. You can follow me at Cheeks_Jr. on Twitter. You can follow Tim Gettys over at Tim Gettys over on Twitter, and Kevin Coello over at Kinda Funny Kevin on Twitter. If you have any questions for the show, go ahead and send them in to TechFeverPodcast at gmail.com. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure.
Hell yeah.
I hope you have the fever as much as I do.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I got the fever.
Until next time.